saying is this legislation basically following the money, following the campaign contributions?
In so many ways it is. It is. Some people will take that money and their vote is bought. And I really believe that some will take the money and you can't buy their vote. And so I think, I think that the payday lenders have pumped so much money into the political system to, so many favors are owed to payday lenders.
And you said that you had a contribution from a payday lender.
I sure did. I had a contribution from a payday lender. I deposited and came the next week and put a bill up to ban them. And I will fight to ban payday lending in South Carolina. And just because you give me a donation doesn't mean you have bought the rights to the vote of the people of District 49, in which I represent.
Why not just tell them your money's no good, here's your check back?
Because I can do things for my constituents with those funds. And in reference to, I have a high school football team that's coming down. And there are things that I have purchased for that team. So some of those funds are being used. I try to use, if it's an organization that gives me money that I don't believe in, I use those funds to put back into the community in which I represent.
That's what I didn't understand about the Democratic. It was very strong. The language in the one quote I remember called them legalized loan sharks, legal loan sharks. If the Democratic Party is going to call them legal loan sharks, why take $50,000 of their campaign contributions?
I can't answer that for you. I can only answer what happens in my particular district and what happens with anyone who gives me funds. And I will tell you that I have not made any promises to payday lenders. They know where I stand. I have always stood that I do not support payday lending in South Carolina, and I will continue to stand that way. And my vote, you can follow my vote, and my vote will show whenever it comes up on the House floor. You will see that I will vote against payday lending.
There have been national stories about the location of the actual stores, the payday lending storefronts, being next to military installations. I always say if you go to Fort Bragg in North Carolina, you see tattoo parlors, used car dealers, pawn shops, and payday lenders right outside the gates of the post. Do you see these? You mentioned Cherry Road, Saluda.
Well, I see, and I gather where your question is going. I see that payday lenders get at the gate or right at the door of African American communities or our less fortunate communities.